Hey, welcome to the Help Us Understand podcast where we stay confused. I am Zach.
I am Josh.
And we're here, folks, with some hot off-the-press information today.
Before we get started, I have to...
I'm sorry. That's right. I must allow you your 12 seconds of fame.
I've made another week of my life without getting a tattoo.
Oh, this is going to suck.
Why?
You're going to do this for at least another, 6 to 8 months before I can convince you.
My whole life.
Oh, no, 6 to 8 months.
I will do this my entire life.
6 to 8
I will
months.
never get a tattoo.
Nope, you will.
I won't.
It might be a little tiny, heart-shaped one on your ass cheek.
There
but
is
you're
nothing
get
that you're
something.
going to be able to... There's nothing that you will be able to do to convince me to get a tattoo.
I'll get you drunk.
Nah, I've never been that drunk before. And I've been pretty drunk.
High, something.
I've never been that high before.
You'll be like,
Nah.
It'll be a giraffe.
I mean, it will have to be something significant.
I'll be like, bro, you're higher than,
Giraffe pussy?
Yeah. And you'll go, get that as a tattoo.
Get that as a tattoo. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Anyway, okay, now that we got that out of the way, I'm glad that's our new intro.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you familiar with Annabelle?
I have. I just recently started watching it's from the Conjuring movies, right?
Yeah.
Loosely? I haven't seen the Annabelle movie, but I am aware of Annabelle as an entity.
Just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like scary movies now.
So, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
They're still around, right?
They're dead.
Oh, they are dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to clarify, who they are the people that went around haunted places and did
paranormal investigators.
Yeah, they collected things from each of the places that they went to investigate. Yep. And I think one of the things that they had gotten from a house was Annabelle.
Yep.
A doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Annabelle has been locked away in a glass box, for I don't know how long, honestly, a long time, quite a bit of time. Although their garage, which has all of these objects, there's thousands of objects in there, so I can't imagine being even close to that house. It's like a dark spot on the fucking map.
But see, but before we get deeper into this, I don't believe in this kind of shit. This kind of stuff is just you can connect paranormal activity to bad things happening just by coincidence.
Sure, there are some times where you can say, "Ooh, man."
Now that being said,
spirit.
But that being said, in the moment, if we went to their house, I would probably be chicken shit and wouldn't go.
Yeah,
in.
you would, because in the back of your mind, there's probably some reality.
I don't believe in that stuff, but at the same time, it's also kind of like, what if?
Well, no. Okay, so let's clarify. You believe in good and evil, correct?
Yeah.
You believe that good can manifest to become a miracle, right?
No.
We're not even talking religiously. I'm just saying good in general. Goodness can manifest itself and become a miracle.
No. Well, define a miracle. What do you mean?
Something that...
A miracle, an act of God?
I didn't say religiously. I said just a miracle as in there's so much positive energy behind someone's illness that there are thousands of people that are constantly thinking about this person, and miraculously, they're not sick anymore.
No, I don't believe in that.
Okay. You just think that they were faking it the whole time?
No, I think someone's will and determination can get you through an illness.
So they were manifested by all the goodness behind them.
No,
right?
I think somebody could be completely alone in the world and would be able to do it.
But I think the chances of someone turning around and they're the most lonely person in the world is extremely unlikely.
How? Why?
Because they have no support.
But it's not about support. It's about your own determination.
It is support though. If
It's
you
not,
don't have enough determination, you have to have the support behind you to help you.
So
why do you think it's so difficult for people when they're like, I got to have accountability? People don't just do shit on their own unless they decide one day to end their old way of living and live a new way.
That's pride. Simple as. It's pride. People are too proud to admit when they do things wrong.
Wrong, but when you want to do them right...
That's changing your old ways. That's pride. That's admitting how you were doing things previously.
In a way, yes, but it's
what you're saying is, and we have already digressed.
We have. That's fine.
But I like it. I'm cool
fine.
with it, though. So we will get back to Annabelle, I promise. So what you're saying is God forbid, a homeless person who has lost all of their family, they have no friends for whatever reason, gets cancer, has some symptoms, goes to the hospital, gets cancer, stage 3 cancer.
Okay.
And you're saying that it is very unlikely that they can pull together be determined, be brave, do everything that they need to do to come out of it and to change, to turn around because they have no support system.
Yeah.
You're saying that wouldn't happen.
I'm saying that the chance is much, much lower. Much lower.
Because
let's just take Bill, okay? I don't know a Bill, so this is pretty safe. Okay. There's a guy named Bill. He's homeless. He's a veteran. He's well respected around the world, but yet no one cares about him because he's living homeless on the street, right? He's got something going on in his life. He ain't got nowhere to live.
Right.
Finds out he's got cancer, okay? Goes to the doctor, does not have health insurance. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to figure this out. And he's like, I got to try to figure out. Someone's like, oh, well, you can stay in my house. Really not much help. He's just kind of there just trying to figure out how to deal with things.
Right.
Then you have Suze. You have Susie.
Suze.
I haven't drank today, I promise.
Right.
Susie, who is a wife of, 2 children. She has a husband. She's got a family. She maybe works at the school or something, part-time teaches. She's starting to feel sick one day, goes to the hospital. She has cancer. She goes home. She immediately has emotional support from family and friends if she decides to share the information.
For sure, yeah.
And that in itself can boost someone's immune system knowing that they have support. There's data, scientific data, that shows that is an assistant to your own body's immune system.
Can positive affirmations and support give you dopamine? And can that in turn help your body cope with different things? Absolutely.
Right.
But I refuse to believe that someone who doesn't have that support, as long as they have a will to live, they can do it.
And I'm not saying that there's a 0% chance.
But
I'm saying there's a much lower
But you're talking
chance.
about positive energy becoming so positive that it can manifest into something physical.
Yeah.
No.
What about evil?
I believe in evil, yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that there's enough evil or darkness that it could manifest itself into something?
No.
So you don't believe anything about exorcisms whatsoever?
No.
Please. We have had this conversation.
Exorcisms?
Yes.
No.
None of it.
I don't necessarily believe in what's it called? When a demon takes over.
Possession?
Possession. Not necessarily. No.
At all. Where did this Josh come from?
You have known me
there is
for
no
so long.
way.
I don't think that evil can manifest itself into something physical. The same thing I don't think positivity can.
I hard disagree.
I think that there are bad people. I think there are evil people already on this planet.
Yeah, of course.
Whether that be that comes from severe mental illness, or if it comes from something that happened in your upbringing, whatever. That's evil.
Yeah, trauma can lead to.
But a house that has all of these paranormal things that they've taken.
Then why are you chicken shit to go check out one of these places if you're like, I don't fucking believe it?
Because it's taking a risk either way.
Well, what's the risk if it's not real?
Okay, so here's the thing. I can say it's not real.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't worry about it. Or I can say that it is real, go into the house and be fucked. Get paranoid, get possessed or something.
Or just say it's not real and go.
But here's the thing. The risk is me being proven wrong. I don't want to take that risk.
But why are you so scared of being proven wrong in this instance? Because I know you, and a lot of times you're willing to prove yourself.
So you think I do believe in exorcisms?
I think you do. I think you believe in evil that can attach itself to objects, people, places.
I don't. Again, we've talked about this in the past with haunted houses and stuff. I believe on what I can see. I believe what I can see. And that's the thing. A lot of times,
a lot of people are
all these videos that you've shown me of haunted houses and exorcisms and stuff.
Yeah.
99.9% of the time, they are fucking fake. They are bullshit. They're complete rubbish. But
I'd say like 60%. But
I know you would. But I mean, I just don't. Damn, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
I don't know, but you're saying.
I just don't believe. I just don't.
Let's say I know a house. All right.
I have never seen. I've heard stories. I have seen quote unquote. I'm using quote fingers.
Right.
Videos. I've seen movies about exorcisms and stuff. But I've never spoken to anyone who's been possessed.
Go see the Annabelle doll. Go touch it.
No.
Why?
Why would I take that risk?
Because it's just a doll, right? There's nothing wrong with it. What's the risk if you think it doesn't exist?
There's okay, it's. I don't think the doll exists, But do I think there's some kind of evil thing that comes from it? Like if we open the glass case that she's in.
Oh, it's been opened. Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's been opened. Yeah. Now the world is going to come to an end because Annabelle's box.
Oh no, not to that extreme.
Well, but so what you're saying? So I get it. I know that there was that big fire on that plantation,
and in
the news a bunch of inmates escaped.
Yeah.
A prison once Annabelle went through that town or whatever. Come on.
I know. No, and I hard disagree with those because I'm like, that's coincidences.
Right.
I bet you if you look up crime and shit in that area, it's probably fucking rampant. I mean, come on. Yeah. Now, there were other things that happened, but we'll get to that part later.
Okay.
So, all right, let's say I know a house, okay? It's down the street. Mm-hmm. It's been abandoned for 85 years because 17 people were murdered in this house.
Okay.
People have reported that when they go into the house to, look around, the objects are thrown. They feel like they're choking. They feel like they can't breathe. They hear voices. They hear footsteps. Mm-hmm. Would you go to the house with me?
So we've talked about this in the past.
Right.
If it was like 10 of us, yeah.
Not just you and me.
No.
Why not?
Because for one, I'm scared of the dark. Two, I don't trust you.
Man doesn't believe in evil energy, but is afraid of the dark.
Dude, I've always been scared of the dark. I still don't fucking like the dark. No, because I feel like we would just need that many people to...
No, because you're afraid that if you are wrong, in the back of your mind, you feel like you probably are, to a certain extent, not completely.
Right.
Then it's going to alter your own reality. Your perception of reality would slightly change and go, well, fuck me. There is evil that can manifest, which means... If evil can manifest, there must be a form of evil at its root.
So I'm simply saying that I don't believe that evil can manifest into something physical. But I'm also saying if I were wrong, why would I want to experience that? So what would be the point? I have no reason to prove anybody right or wrong.
Okay. No, I'll take that.
People can believe it all day if they want to, and that's fine. That doesn't necessarily mean I have to agree with it. But I'm saying that I'm not willing to go and poke this doll to prove myself or to prove it to somebody.
Right. Okay. So your stance is more or less, I'm happy with the way that I feel and think about it right now. I don't want to go and step over a line that I've created for myself.
I see.
Because then I will have to change the way I think about that. And I feel that I'm comfortable the way I think now.
No, it's potentially that it could be dangerous.
That's my point.
But that's what I'm saying. That doesn't mean that I believe it. And I'm just saying there's enough people that talk about it. Why would I take that risk?
To basically prove them wrong. To say all these people are fake.
But again, I'm not trying to prove anybody wrong. If people want to be ignorant and believe all these fucking fake haunted house videos, that's on them.
I mean, but at the same time, then you're the wrong one that's wrong.
Fair. I'll take that. You know me. I'm not argumentative.
That was a huge fucking humongous circle.
I'll take it.
Okay. Let's get back to the story at hand.
Yeah, but I'm simply saying what you're saying is for whatever reason. So whatever happened in this house where Annabelle came from, those evil spirits or the demons or whatever is attached to her,
to the doll itself.
Yeah. Okay, so then tell me, as Annabelle's been going across the country, we
ain't even got to that yet.
Yeah, okay, keep going. Keep going.
So anyway, Annabelle. Ed and Lorraine Warren, basically, Ed died, I think, a while ago. It's been quite some time. Right. Lorraine died in 2019, late 2019. On her deathbed, you can look this up on Google or Grok, whichever one you prefer. I prefer Grok. No, I'm not sponsored.
Others are available.
Yeah, others are available. On her deathbed, like within the last few days of her life, she specifically told her son, never remove Annabelle from her spot. She must stay there.
Well, then her son dropped the ball.
Yeah. It was like, now, let me ask you this question, right? You're Josh. Your mom is Lorraine Warren, okay? You grew up with your parents doing this, and you believe in everything that they've done.
Right.
And you followed, and you're actually carrying on the family business to a certain extent. Your mother on her deathbed says to you, please look at me. I love you, son. You absolutely cannot move this doll for the rest of your life. Do you choose to take this doll on tour around the fucking country?
No.
Or do you leave it in his box?
I'd leave it in its box.
Right. So That's what
but
really
mostly because
me.
but mostly not because of a threat that it might, but because my mom said not to.
You respect it, right?
Yeah, I respect her.
Not only did you respect it, but you also saw part of it, right? Like you grew up and you said there's some reality to what she's saying.
If my parents were the Warrens, presumably I would have actually seen some paranormal activity.
Right, exactly.
So there would be reason for me to understand.
So there's factual legitimacy in your mind, and your own mother said this.
Right.
I could understand if your children someday after you're long gone said, let's move it, because they weren't there to see and experience what happened, right?
So what did they pay him?
No, he's taking it on tour. So he has, along with the company, has decided to take Annabelle on tour called Devils on the Run around the country to make a... what was it? They're trying to earn money for a new museum or something like that. Let me pull up exactly
for paranormal activity.
I assume so. It says it refers to the traveling exhibition, blah blah blah. To showcase the doll, the tour aims to found a new museum while offering paranormal enthusiasts and horror fans a chance to see the doll outside the now closed Warren Occult Museum. Below are the key details, and it starts going through like all the information. So West Virginia, Missouri, Pennsylvania, New Orleans, and Texas. And then, of course, they said they may stop like one or two other places along the way. So what's really disturbing is the fact that he actually took the doll in the first place and said, let's go on tour. Because there's just unknown risks. If he really believes in it, maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's why he's like, nah, my parents were fucking kooks and they made up all this shit and I don't give a fuck. We're just going to make money.
I mean, that's a pretty bold statement coming from if those are his parents.
Yeah. So
and also in regards to the Warrens, I have listened to a couple of the recordings of, and not like in an entertainment way, but they're actual documented investigative.
Oh, it's real.
It's I will have to admit it's wild.
Yeah.
Because they were able to produce some kind of, there's a couple of them where they have pictures.
Yeah.
And they were like, we simply can't replicate what were, at the time at least, could not, this is before camera tricks.
Yeah.
This is before AI. Audio tricks and all that kind of stuff. Yes. I mean, I will, granted, there are some things that's difficult to
explain.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe it. I don't know why I don't believe in this stuff, because as we've discussed in the past, I have had a paranormal experience.
I know. Yes.
You know, so I mean, I
believe in it. I'm believing it.
But it's not that. It's because when it happened at the time, it was scary. But over the years, I've tried to I've tried to make sense of it. In a logical way.
Yeah.
It must have been the wind or something.
A ghost touched my butthole. I don't believe it.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, we'll be clear. It touched his butt cheek. Anyway, So anyway, this Annabelle doll has now traveled to a few places already. But New Orleans obviously is when it caught wind, because first of all, they took it to a voodoo shop to be held, which let's break that down for a split second.
That's a twofer.
I've watched a lot about voodoo. Voodoo is real to a certain extent.
They do some dark shit.
Yeah, if you believe in it and you get into it, you're going to see some shit that you've never thought you would see.
Right.
Voodoo to me is like one of the most demonic types of, I don't know, I don't want to call it magic, but just dark shit out there. So why take Annabelle to a shop for voodoo? I don't fucking know. But apparently around the shop is like 2 blocks of houses and apartments, and it's downtown stores and things like that. Well, they were asking people were coming up all down the street and they were like, have you seen anything weird in the last 24, 48 hours? And people were saying, yeah, there's been some really wild shit happening over the last day, not knowing that Annabelle was actually there.
So let's go ahead and say, though, the predominantly New Orleans is a state where it's full of people who like to drink heavily.
Very true. Yeah. That's
so you
very
true.
true.
Bunch of people on the street. If you guys seen anything, bro, I saw some fucking crazy shit. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm sure you did.
No, I mean, and that's a fair statement, because we could take that into consideration that there, maybe half to more than half of these stories are like people just living their normal life, just fucked up.
Yeah.
But one guy said that he was talking to his wife in bed, and he had a lab. He has a lab, a dog, not a lab where you cook up shit, A
Labrador.
Labrador, yeah. And this lab has like really nice like brown eyes. Well, at night, that night that Annabelle had arrived, apparently the eyes of the dog when he was in bed turned solid black in the middle of like turning on the bedroom light. Like there was no brown, and the dog stopped breathing. was just standing there staring at him. Eyes went solid black, stopped breathing, and just was like frozen. And then he was like, yo, what's going on? My dog, what's happening? Went to get him a treat, came back, and the dog's eyes were blood red, like filled with blood.
See,
I know. I'm just telling you what's been recorded.
Yeah.
And then after that, he went and he drug his dog to the kitchen, which he said it felt like it was moving a mountain, like heavier than his normal dog.
Right.
By the time he got the dog to the kitchen, all of a sudden the dog just perked right back up and everything was fine. And he was like, that was like, it freaked him out, like really bad. And he was like, I wonder if I'd take my dog to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. But he was walking the next day and he saw all these people outside of the shop and they were like, hey, have you seen anything weird happen? And he was like, yeah, actually I had some shit happen with my dog last night. There was another lady that was behind his apartment that said in the middle of the night, she got up and all of her kitchen cabinet doors were wide open. All of them, which we've seen that kind of style of stuff in movies.
Right.
There were a few other people that had stopped by and said some random weird shit. I don't know if it was all legitimate. Maybe these people were drunk. Maybe they did some stupid shit. Maybe it was the voodoo shop itself doing some magic around the area. I don't fucking know. And then like you mentioned, the fire that happened there where a manufacturing plant caught on fire, they apparently had put it out and then it relit again after that.
Well, I didn't hear about no manufacturing plant, but there was like a big plantation house.
Plantation, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, big plantation house. I mean, I didn't hear that. They put it out.
They put it out, and then they were like, everything's good to go. They started to leave, and it went whoosh.
And Annabelle was like, the fuck you
are?
Yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle said, not today. No. And then the inmates escaping, which they found out, I mean, that's coincidence. Like, they held a knife up to one of the guards to turn off the water supply so that they could dig their way out. That was what happened. That's the real story. So they ended up kind of getting in some guard's face, force him to turn the water supply off so they could finish digging and get themselves out. I mean, that's just a fucking coincidence.
But the whole black-eyed dog turned red eyes and all that stuff. But see, again, that's just, it's word of mouth. Somebody said it.
It's true.
I mean, we could just as easily be like, there's a lint roller sitting right there on top of your computer. See that?
Yeah.
See the lint roller?
Yeah,
you know it's there? Okay.
I know it's there.
We could go to work tomorrow and be like, dude, we were recording an episode of our podcast, and that lint roller started to levitate a couple inches off the ground. And there are some people that would believe it.
True. Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, I think there's a 50-50 chance with everybody. I mean, you and I could say that, and it might be real. Like, you and I might have actually fucking experienced that. Please don't do that right now. It's a little fucking thing.
The lint roller?
Yeah. But like, you and I might, and you and I would flip out. How many people would you tell? 12?
If it levitated?
You know what I mean?
Wait. If it levitated?
Yeah.
I would tell fucking everybody.
Who are you going to tell? Your mom?
Everyone. Yes.
Your nieces?
Everyone.
Who else?
Every person I come in contact at the store, at work, anybody.
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you like milk too? Let me tell you about this.
Any spam caller from fucking Kenya or some shit
No,
that calls
you
me.
fucking
the
wouldn't.
fuck I wouldn't. I would tell everyone.
And you know what? Half of those people wouldn't fucking believe you.
Right. And I'd be like,
that's my point.
Like, I don't blame you because I didn't. But then again, I would be proven wrong.
That's my point is, so this guy with the dog's eyes, right? Mm-hmm. He could be lying. He could be telling you what he saw happened. We can't automatically always just assume someone's lying. However, we can't always think that everyone thinks good intentions either. Well, so it's kind of, you have to walk that fine line of, well, maybe it did happen. Maybe he's telling the truth. And if he did, is it attached to the Annabelle doll? Maybe. Maybe it's coincidence. Or maybe enough people, and this is going back to manifestation, enough people in the area knew about the Annabelle doll, and all that dark energy was just fucking swirling in the air, and shit started to happen.
If we got 20 people and came down in here to your basement, and just we're all fucking pissed off or something, and just sat in a circle and was just thinking of evil, fucking just terrible, disgusting things, you think something would pop up in the middle of us?
I don't know that you and I have that ability to do that.
I've been pretty fucking mad before.
Yeah, but it's temporary. You and I both know that, like, you really have to have a darker heart to really hold that much anger and frustration. Like, I get angry. I get fucking pissed off at people. And I'll be like, you fucking piece of fucking goddamn... I mean, I'll go off. But within about 5 minutes, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I just kind of like want to push it off and let it go.
So if that many people in New Orleans were able to manifest something to cause this dog to react the way it did... I'm not
saying pissy. I'm saying maybe they were just like, demons. Yeah, I don't know.
But how? I mean, but what would they need to be thinking? Maybe it was a bunch of people that practice voodoo.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I've heard stories. I've listened to podcasts about.
I've seen a couple. You remember that one guy, that video?
Yeah. I think I know who you're going to talk about.
Monseed.
Oh,
they went to New Orleans and they went to that voodoo shop and then camped out.
Yeah.
And remember, he woke up and started puking black.
Fuck that
but
shit.
See, I don't know, though.
I know.
It's a video.
That could be fake, too. I mean, if we really want views, I'll drink some bile shit and then throw up,
wouldn't. Fuck that.
Depends.
Would you do it for the views? Yeah.
Paycheck.
Well, but then there's also part of me that wants to say, yes, I would go to something like that just to see it.
Yeah.
Because then I could just easily
Dude,
be like,
look, why did I do this?
But that's one. But see, I wouldn't want to go just the two of us. I'd want more people there.
Because then that makes your view valid, right?
No, because it will make me less scared. I don't want to be. It's much simpler than you're making it out to be. I
just want people to hug.
Like haunted. Like I don't like haunted houses because I don't like to be startled. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why fucking people pay to be scared. That shit drives me up the wall. But also, like we went into a house.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black and it's quiet.
Whew. And then you just hear
that shit. Dude.
And it's not our voice.
I would shit my pants. And again, I love you to death, but I don't fucking trust you because you've bitten me too many times with this shit.
Yeah, but in that situation, I would not be able to do that because I think my fear of since I'm more of a believer than you are,
right.
I think my legitimate fear of fuck, like I think I would be more scared than you are, but I would just be like, I'd be quiet. I'm like, did you hear that? Please tell me somebody just touched my neck. Like I would. Ooh, I don't know.
I would
do it though because.
And
I'd want to see it.
And whatever house that we went to, during the day, I would want to completely scout out the house.
Oh, 100%.
I want to look outside. I want to look in every corridor.
Any homeless people hiding here,
Well, no, like, is somebody fucking with us? Is somebody set up some shit?
Yeah.
I want to look at everything, and we wouldn't leave until it got dark because I don't trust motherfuckers. So we'd have to go out there and check it out. I mean, there's all kinds of, like, rules that I have if we were to ever do this.
I need to wear 3 diapers. I need
and then have
the
3
floor
more in my
ply.
backpack.
I need some water.
I need some water. Need that good toilet paper.
We
would need. It couldn't just be me and you. I would need more people.
We'll just bring a bunch of people that are, I don't know, pay them $20.
I don't have not strangers.
Why not?
Because
it's not comfortable.
I don't fucking know them.
We can't. You and I don't have enough people in our lives that we trust.
We have enough.
No, we don't. That would want to go.
I could get my niece. Dustin.
He won't go. He already told us. He refuses to go. Yeah.
Oh. I got some people.
Good job. 2 fucking people.
Well, I mean,
we got plenty of people.
I got plenty of people still left in Florida. I've got people all over the place I can call.
I'll bring my mom.
Oh, dude.
She'll have a Bible with her.
She wouldn't do it.
She would.
There's no way.
I think she would. Well, I don't know. I don't think she would. If I was like, can you? I don't know. She'd have a Bible on her for sure. Or she'd be like, I'll drive you there and I'll have a Bible in the car praying for you the whole time. That's probably more along what she would do.
Would your dad come in with us?
No. Nah. He would be like, nope. Not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that.
He wouldn't even wait in the car?
Nah. He'd be like, you can have fun. I'm not getting anywhere near that.
Fair enough.
I'll play my computer game. Thank you.
Fair enough.
But anyway, they're on their last couple trips of this tour, right? And they intentionally are taking Annabelle to these special places so that, they can get all sorts of money and take her back or whatnot. But if there's more shit that happens along the way, it's kind of like, all right, come on now. Like the coincidence is getting kind of fucking annoying. It's like, all right, how many coincidences can you fucking have?
Maybe that's part of the publicity.
And maybe, because they have a lot of money.
Maybe this dude with the dog works for the people that did this.
True. Yeah.
Hey
man, can you go fill up a whole apartment with all your shit and we'll pay you and then...
Is this an entertainment company?
It's amusement. Not amusement.
A museum.
A museum style, like historical / museum style.
But who's funding the tour?
You know what? We have Grok safely in our hands. I can ask.
Others are available. Only because I would...
The New England Society for Psychic Research.
Okay, well that sounds semi
legitimate.
Yeah.
Featuring the infamous Annabelle doll.
Are people coming out to visit this?
Yeah, you can do that. You can go out and see it. I asked people at work. I said, "Y'all want to do a little team building event?" It's like, nah.
No. No.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And it was weird because you know how you and I have mentioned, and this is going to cause you, I don't even really want to tell you this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, God.
You know how you and I are like, we need to go see a
psychic.
A psychic, right? Yeah. Just to see, because you and I are very, very...
apprehensive.
Yes, thank you. Apprehensive about that.
You are more willing to believe it. I don't believe it.
I'm willing. That's a very key word. I'm willing to believe it. However, after hearing what I heard the other day, I'm not so sure now.
What did you hear the other day?
So, going back to exorcisms, which we're already in that same path here, one of the top priests, exorcist priests in the world, did an interview with a guy. I love watching these because these guys, I fully believe, are telling the truth in what they say. What they see with their eyes, they're telling us.
Okay.
I don't think that there's any reason for them to lie. I don't feel that they have any... they're not getting paid any extra for this publicity.
So what was this? Who was interviewing who?
It was one of the top exorcist priests, and it was a guy who apparently works with the church, wanted to do an interview with him. And this guy's out of the exorcist business now. I think he's moved on. I think he's like doing the last few, blessings of life. Well, I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. And he was like, hey, so he was like, do people get possessed? Straightforward. He said, absolutely. And he said, how many exorcisms have you performed? He said, I don't know, but I know it's more than 76. He said, I lost count after that. He said, how long have you been doing this? He said, I've been doing it for almost 35 years. So, okay. He said, what things cause people to become possessed? He said, like, what should we tell people to stay away from? And he said, number one, the biggest one is dealing in the occult. So literally practicing devil worship, practicing dark magic, things like that can leave you extremely susceptible to dark energy or whatnot overtaking your body.
Right.
The second thing, he said, going and seeing psychics.
So we're not going to do that then. Yeah, so that's the case.
I was waiting for you.
So if that's the case, we're not going. Really?
And he explained it. He said, and the guy was like, why? And he said, are you wigging out over there?
I am. I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye. No.
Oh, don't fucking do that. He said, so going and seeing psychics, he said, this is why. He said, most people go because, honestly, they don't believe. And I feel like it was like speaking to us.
Yeah.
He said, they feel like they don't believe. And he said, they'll go and Mother Miriam or Mother whoever will tell them one of their dead relatives did something with them or said something to them when they were 10 years old, and only they would ever know that. No one on the planet who's still alive today would know about the specific things that they just heard from their dead relative.
Right.
He said, in that moment, you've now made a connection with your dead relative.
The other side.
And he said, 99% of the time, that is not a dead relative. That is a demon who can imitate your dead relative, and the secrets of your dead relative and you can read your mind and pull that out. And whatever you're thinking you want to hear, they'll pull it out and use it. So then when you go home, you go, oh, Grandma, I know you're here. And you start talking to something that's not there. And you think they're always with me. They're here. They're watching me at home.
Right.
And it's actually a demon. He said that opens those people up instantly to being possessed. And he said, I've had to go to more people's houses who went recently to a psychic to free them from a possession than anyone else who's been in an occult.
So having heard that, what are you thinking now?
I'm really hesitant now.
Really?
Because it... but at the same time, now I'm more prepared, and I almost want to be like, say something, bitch. And then...
So you want to provoke?
Instantly be like, nah, it's a demon. Fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, but if you've already made the connection, if this guy's right, regardless of what you say after that, he's made the connection.
Yeah, but I won't believe it. I'll believe it, but I'll be like, nah, nope. I'll be like, I know you're just trying to pull my leg. You know what I mean? Or we'd go, and like you and I always think, your life is filled with friendliness, like random
some
bullshit
broad
that's generic.
Shit.
Yeah. So it's kind of like,
Fortune cookies.
Kind of want to, but at the same time, do I want to take the risk?
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah, but at the same time, though, there's books that are written on the art of psychics.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, hell, they did an episode on it in South Park and talked about it perfectly. There's a way to make people believe that you're calling out real shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, legitimately what I think it is.
Yeah.
That being said, now that you've said that, I don't know if I'm as willing as I once was to go.
Right,
do
because
it,
could you imagine you and I go, and it's not me, it'd be you, and like a dead relative said something to you that only you would ever know, and you're like, oh my God, and you just start crying, and then you go home and you're like, Zach, my house has been fucked since I got home. I'd be like, oh,
I don't even want to. Yes, I don't want to risk that. Call me what you want, chicken shit, fucking. I don't know. That's just not something I would want to risk.
I mean, I don't know. I'm curious, but it does add a layer of worry now.
So if that's the case, so if the exorcism guy said that,
yeah,
what protects the psychic?
They're working for the demons, essentially. So they're protected.
So they're
allowing access to people.
So they're actively doing dark magic
and not realizing that they are. Yeah. Or some probably are. Some probably do know. Others are probably like, I'm hearing a voice.
Because we have a hand reader here in town.
Well, I mean, you even think of people who are famous like Tyler Henry, who spits out precise details.
Oh, that young dude?
Yeah. And it's like connections with people. Oh, I'm seeing grandpas coming in and grandma. Is there someone with a J name? And it's like, holy fuck, dude. If you're transmitting demons to people.
He's all online, though. And I know people have claimed to have seen him in real life.
He's not online.
Is he not?
No, he's got a fucking Netflix series now.
Oh, I thought
every Tuesday
he started out
live.
on YouTube, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every Tuesday you can watch him on Netflix. I am not trying to promote this guy. Every Tuesday you can watch him on Netflix, and he does a live reading to a family in front of him on the couch. And his mother sits in the same room. She's always there as his moral support. Because you'll see as he goes through this, he starts to sweat. He starts to get shaky. And I'm like, if truly good things are coming out of this, why is your body suffering? You know what I mean?
He's an actor.
Maybe.
He could be.
But he is hitting on key points that people are like, holy shit. I mean, things that no one else would ever know.
But see, I'm not gullible.
But okay, here's a wild twist. Is it a form of telekinesis? Is it that they're able to access? Because we know that this part exists in our world. People have been reported to be able to read certain parts of people's minds to a certain extent.
Huh? No, I've never heard this.
Yes, like literally telekinesis. Is it telekinesis?
ESP?
Telepathy, sorry. Where
I was going to say,
they're able
telekinesis
to
is be able to move things with your mind.
Yeah, sorry. We're not there yet.
Right.
Where they're able to actually read parts of like your next thought. What are you thinking next? Like they're able to access, and it's because part of their brain is accessed. You know how we only use 10% of our brain?
Right.
Part of their brain is like turned on. It's like a form of autism, but they have this special ability that can read minds. I'm wondering if maybe that's a function of it. And that if you're sitting there and you're thinking, they're going to say something about my grandpa. And then he says, I'm getting an older gentleman come through. Like, I'm wondering if it's just being projected.
Yeah, okay, but what if that was the case? Like, if I was thinking about my grandpa and they were coming through, what if I was like, no, I don't have anybody like that?
They'd be like, I think he digs. He keeps digging.
So he'll keep digging.
Yeah, he'll keep going. Someone with their name starts with like a J. Like, he'll get it spot on to the point where you're like, oh, fuck this. I can't fucking not
I mean, if he was
tell.
that accurate
you know what I mean?
at that point, I'd probably be like, I'm not doing this. I'm out.
Demons, be gone!
I mean, seriously, I just don't, I wouldn't. That would scare me. I have to be honest. That would scare me.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but that does kind of make me worry about the whole psychic thing. I was like,
well, we'll discuss it.
I don't know about that.
We'll discuss it at a later date. And also, I'm kind of glad the Annabelle doll is not coming further east.
Well, I was like, is it coming to North Carolina? Like, I was curious, and Virginia was the lowest, or lower part of West Virginia. It crossed through Virginia and went down to New Orleans. So I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, we'll stay there.
Yeah, don't come through North Carolina. We don't need it.
Isn't it an old Raggedy Ann doll?
It is, yeah. But see, that's the thing.
Is there significance to it being called Annabelle?
That was the name of the girl.
Oh, I see. Of the
girl who died.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, I mean it's. And we always put Annabelle on like this pedestal of like haunted objects, but there's shit out there that's worse. It's been worse than that. And people just, I have to sneeze.
Go ahead. Don't sneeze into the mic. Bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Then why do we say bless after we sneeze? Do you know the true story behind that?
Because people years ago thought sneezing was a demon leaving your body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I did know that.
Hey. He believes.
It's because of the pepper.
Yeah,
no, I say it because I grew up in a religious household.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, actually,
people not religious say bless
I actually do mean it. Yeah. still bless you. You know.
If you were non-religious, how would you say that to someone who sneezes? Good willings upon you. It's the vent.
Oh, be like, no, you wouldn't say excuse you.
Excuse you.
I don't know. Maybe you just wouldn't say it.
Non-religious version of God damn,
dude. You would say that when somebody sneezed.
No. Or just a sneeze, and then you're like, "You good?"
Fair enough.
I don't know. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know.
Achoo. Fair enough. It's like
ridiculous.
Thank you. Yeah.
But anyway,
I do say it. I say it all the time.
It's just. We could talk about this shit forever because there's too much out there.
Yeah.
And there's too many documentaries. I watched a lot about these exorcist priests. God bless them. I think they are the most fearless men I have ever seen in front of the world.
You have to be.
Yeah.
If that was real, you would have to be.
And to them it is real, and so
Did
they walk in. Woo!
Did you watch The Pope's Exorcist?
Yeah.
It's
very
movie.
good. Yes,
that's
very
a solid
good.
movie.
I'd say that's like 45% to 50% actually accurate of what happens. Like you have to walk in like, bitch.
Yeah, and that's
just you can't say that word.
And that's what he does. That's
Demon.
what he does in the movie,
like
totally.
oh man, I don't know. Like,
well, maybe next week. I mean, God forbid. I hope nobody else gets hurt or anything. But maybe something else that happens
in Texas, yeah, because they're going to.
Well, when is the tour? Texas, and that's it.
I think Texas, and then they said they may make a couple extra stops along the way back.
What if they come back to North Carolina? I'll be like,
oh, dude,
I will protest that.
I made a joke. I said it would show up at my workplace. And it would be outside and go, oh, there's enough here. I don't need to fucking do anything else.
It's very dark. It wouldn't stop. Keep driving.
The car would just engage.
Oh, God. All right, well, that's it for this week.
Yeah. Hopefully we didn't scare everybody off too much.
Well, you scared me. Always.
Yeah.
You always manage to do that.
I do.
As always, you can find us on YouTube, Help Us Understand Podcast. We're also on Instagram. We're also on Facebook and TikTok. TikTok.
That's a new one.
Yeah, TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. You can also send us an email with your questions or comments or any topic suggestions, helpuspod@gmail.com, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts.
I would love to hear from a few listeners or more.
All of them.
If they've been to a not psychic. An exorcist, a psychic.
Well, hell, I mean,
if you've been exercised, yeah, I mean, fuck.
I'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely send information in. If you've seen what did you say, psychic? My brain, I'm tired, man.
Yeah, dude.
A psychic, if you've seen one and you've had a legitimate experience and it's happy-go-lucky with grandma somewhere in your house, please send the information. I'd love to hear about it, honestly. I mean, really.
And we hope
it's actually your grandma.
It works out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way.
Bless you.
Right. Fair enough.
God damn. All right.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week. I was Josh.
I was Zach.
Yeah, bye.